Oh, what the fuck? It's already summer? So, you know the gist of it by now. Every season, we get a lot of stinkers. I mean, a lot of them. But do not worry, because I've personally went through most of them and handpicked some bangers. So, let's get the obvious one out of the way. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 is airing, and oh my, saying it is good is an understatement. I mean, I've read the manga, so I know it is going to blow your dick off. But what surprised me the most is how good the animation is. From these subtle character moments which breathe life into the characters, the amazing camera work which really makes this show feel like a high-budget movie, the art style which has somewhat changed, but thanks to that, it helps with the previous things which I mentioned, like the constant expressive body movement of the characters, and following that up with the hypothetical camera, and most importantly, the pacing of the anime. The pacing was the biggest concern for me, because if my guess is correct, the anime is going to adapt the hidden inventory arc and also the start of Shubuya incident arc, which, oh, no one is ready for it. And you might think, hey, it cannot be that good. Trust me, it is mind-blowing. I know some of you might get pissed because I'm hyping this up, but trust me, this is me downplaying it and containing my hype. Honestly, I'm just itching to make a video on JJK, but I cannot speak about it without spoiling. I will just say one last thing before I move on. If done right, which they obviously will do it, I mean, come on, did you see the latest episode? I think Shibuya incident is in good hands, and once that arc gets animated, it will stand alongside the goated shonen anime arcs such as Pain arc, York New City, the Dark Tournament arc, and Marineford. Maybe not Marineford, because that arc was such a different kind of arc. It was in league of its own. Maybe there is Rosa. Okay, to dumb it down, it is a big arc which does important big things. Zom 100 bucket list was a huge surprise that probably no one expected, but was welcomed with open arms. We follow Akira, who is fresh out of uni, about to join a production company with a twinkle in his eye and full of passion. But soon, his hopes and dreams come crashing down as he finds himself working in a living hell. Day 1, he not only works overtime and pulls an all-nighter, but he also pulls the next one. He goes back home after 3 days. His superior is a dick who yells at him no matter what, whether you ask his permission to do the task or you do the task without asking him. His pay is shit. I mean, it is dog shit. Every single day, he lives off cup noodles or the convenience store sandwich for his lunch and dinner. He does not even get 5 hours of sleep on the daily basis. On top of that, the company makes him do unpaid overtime. He officially has off days, but because of the peer pressure and office politics, he cannot take any. If he wants holidays for a vacation, they are unpaid holidays. Also, he cannot quit the company because of the contract obligations. But to top that off, the love of his life, his crush, the only person in this trash fuck of a company who cares for him and keeps him sane here, is getting piped by the CEO of the company, and he has been suffering through all of this for 3 years. Every single day while going back home, he looks at the train tracks but cannot step on them because of the dividers. So, how the fuck can he get out of this hell and live his life? Well, one way to solve it is a zombie apocalypse. After this happens and our boy is free from his shackles, he decides to do 100 things before turning into a zombie. The show, in a weird way, kind of reminds me of Great Teacher Onizuka. There is hilarious comedy, the stakes are really fucking high, but by the end of it, we get these nice life lessons which stick with you. Well, the manga had already sold me on the premise, but the anime sold everyone in first 10 seconds with this beautifully animated sequence. Not gonna lie, I was skeptical at first because a new unknown studio was animating this show, but then I took a look at the staff and it was like the Avengers were assembling to produce the show. The director, who worked on Summertime Rendering, series composition and the script is done by the guy who worked on Vinland Saga, JJK, Chainsaw Man and Mob Psycho Season 3. The main animator worked on Kill la Kill and Kizumonogatari, not to mention the other big names connected to this project too. And these Avengers are now animating their own life. Ain't that kick in the balls? What is this? Another shitty fantasy anime? Looks like a risky isekai, is what you might think as you take a look at this poster. Hell, even I thought this was a shitty isekai. But don't be fooled by how it looks, because an amazing immersive adventure is waiting for you on the other side. Helck takes place in the demon world, where our main characters are Helck, who is a human, and Anne, a demon. At first, Anne is doubtful of Helck. Even we think this guy is faking the good guy act. I mean, can you blame me? At first, he laughs like this, and then he makes this face. I mean, come on, he's 100% plotting. On top of that, he's a human who hates other humans, and that's not all. He also wants to become a demon lord. Like, what? I call sus. But as we go on a journey with him, that doubt slowly fades away. As we learn more about Helck, we learn about his hardships, his mistakes, his demons, and his heroics. Now you might be asking, hey, how do you know all of that when there are only 4 episodes out? Well, to answer that question, I have to say, go read the fucking manga like I did. Helck starts out slow, and as you might have noticed, the animation is not on the level of top shows. It is pretty mediocre, but this anime has a real heart to it. If you're willing to sit through for first 3 or 4 episodes, you will be in for a magnificent, heart-wrenching, action-packed fun journey alongside none other than Helck. Link Click is back, and fuck, the cliffhangers are killing me. So here is a bit of advice. Wait till the season is finished and then binge watch it. And I would highly recommend you to binge watch it from season 1, because I think most of you might have forgotten a lot of important things which happened in season 1. Every episode still keeps me on edge, and by the end of every single episode, I scream, yes, 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 no, 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 fuck! Because they do shit like, yeah, just the ending song is not this banger, which fucking sucks, but the show still slaps. Mushoku Tensei is back with Rudeus, who has graduated from horny on main mage to a heartbroken mage, and it is really rough to see him like this. Well, you see, the last season did end on a hopeful note, where Rudeus gets up and tries to break free from his previous self. He's trying his best to move on from his depression, but you know, that's not how that works. If this was any other anime, after the last episode of season 1, it would go like, oh, he's not depressed anymore, guys. He touched some grass, he took a hot bath, and we cured his depression. Look at him go. But that's not Mushoku Tensei. At first, we see Rudeus trying to do everything on his own, distancing himself from others because he's scared that they will abandon him at the end of the day. Hell, he's even afraid to shake this girl's hand who he's about to team up with. He even gets a panic attack when he thinks about Eris. To put it simply, Rudeus is a hot mess. Then over time, slowly but surely, we see him mix with other people, teaming up with other parties more often, drinking in celebration post-expedition, trying to put on a smile. And even though he does all of that, something feels kind of off. But we think, hey, at least he's trying his best. And as soon as we and Rudeus thinks he's ready to move on, well, you know what happens when you ignore your problems for too long and try to force yourself into something half-heartedly. It is nothing short of a disaster. Mushoku Tensei is one of the very few anime which has portrayed depression in a realistic way, and I applaud them for that. And I can already see that this arc is going to be the character development arc, and I cannot wait for it. But there is one more thing which I want to address before I move on, which is the censorship. I don't like censorship. Yeah, it's a big shocker, but I don't mind it when the show makes you aware that this is going to be the censored version and this is not going to be the censored version, like High School DxD. I know what I'm getting myself into when I watch the uncensored, but when it comes to Mushoku Tensei, the show does not even tell you that this is going to be the censored and other is not, because by default I'm watching the censored version, which is such bullshit. Like by now, anyone who is watching Mushoku Tensei is well aware that this show is an adult show, and very fucked one at that. So you are either on board with it or you are not. Like come on, I don't want to see the black screen and try to figure out what the fuck is going on by going into comments or searching on YouTube. Just give us the uncensored version. Lastly, Rurouni Kenshin is getting a remake, which stirs kind of a mixed feelings, because even though the story left a huge imprint on my life and the reanimated scenes look amazing, but it doesn't change the fact that the author is kind of a scumbag. So I'm not sure how I feel about it. On the much lighter note, Horimiya is back to give us some of the story arcs they did not adapt, so it is kind of fun to watch it. Happy Marriage is another cute romance drama airing right now with bit of a supernatural sprinkled on it, but the real winner of this genre is My Adventures with Superman. Okay, I know this is not an anime, but man, this is so good. Give it a chance, I'm pretty sure you will like it, and I'm not saying it because of Lois, but damn. And that's about it from me. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more of me, and I will see you all in the next one.